As we look at this poster here, this is something that just surprised me right off the top, that Luka Magnotta, the suspect, immediately named by the police, has become front and center here with the subject. And I was very, very concerned, you know, that why would you make a wanted poster of yourself before you're wanted? Just doesn't seem to make any sense. But of course, it probably makes a lot of sense if you're being set up for a frame-up job. And this is probably where we're heading with this case, is that it is a frame-up job, because people have blogged his name and events all over creation that he's a demented, you know, gay porn star, murderer, someone who tortures animals. Like, if you're hiring a PR firm to look after you here, Luka, you've done a very good job to get yourself, you know, with the best of the worst. So this is a picture from his blog, Cannibal. And the link there will take you to his blog, if that really is his blog. Somehow seeming that, you know, he's a serial killer and cannibal of some sort or another. Allegedly, there's a video of the victim being murdered on this website that you know, Canadian press has done little to you know, sequester. It's called bestgore.com, and this so-called movie that he made, killing his roommate, is posted on this website for all to see. And then, of course, just before I come into the show, I find another little piece of news item where an American saw this on the internet and called the Toronto police, along with several other police agencies, through his local sheriff's office, and told them that, you know, there's this gruesome murder that is online, and it's a Canadian victim and a Canadian killer, and asking the police to investigate this. And he was pretty much passed off and laughed off by the officer who received the call. Nobody checked into it, nobody looked into it. Maybe it's all been you know, preordained to happen, and nobody was allowed to look too hard. There's a lot of comments from this website about this man's fascination with necrophilia and homicide and such like that. And we don't have to get into the gory details, but you know, this was placed in a public forum long before this became a public matter. It's still, you know, as of today, it was still posted on this website. I didn't look at it too carefully, but just to know that it was there. This is supposed to be the suspect, Luka Magnotta. He also has two aliases. But what I found rather bizarre as soon as I saw this picture was the fact that this is more than likely some type of, you know, almost like one of those British press events where you're tried and executed in the public media before you even get to see the light of a courtroom or anything like that. Something is seriously wrong with this. So here's the, you know, the top right-hand corner. We saw the refrigerator with the blood stain on it. Well, there's evidence. It's supposed to be a murder scene, and you know, how did the super take the media into there to go look around and fish around and look at all the evidence? The place should be sealed off. The hardcore pieces of evidence would be removed. So, you know, that would include the refrigerator. There could be some sort of mark or evidence that could be removed. A detailed forensic examination might be able to find something, you know, even lint at the back of the fridge that may be from someone's clothes or something. We are dealing with a homicide here. It's a very, very serious case. I find it, you know, just hard to believe that serious pieces of evidence would be left, you know, not exactly in the public domain, but accessible to non-specialists for examination and such, and to be able to produce it in a media forum to try this guy in public on the press pages, as it's been done in Murdochville for many, many long years. The other big piece of evidence was the blood-stained mattress, so I don't know if they left that there for people to gawk at as well, or if it was removed and kept as evidence in a forensic laboratory. So of course this refrigerator, taking a picture of it isn't good enough. It should be sealed away as evidence of a crime, because if that's blood stains on the bottom of the victim's blood, you just can't go leaving it around to be tampered with by anybody who happens to come along and then try to expect to get a conviction somewhere down the road in court. But we don't need that, of course, because we're convicting this guy here. So I find that you know, difficult to deal with. One of the other factors, of course, is they instantly linked this guy to Karla Homolka, Canada's you know, famous serial killer S, who has been released from prison after serving her time, living in points unknown and such. He denied this fellow Magnotta, and you know, I believe him. Especially if he's gay, he probably doesn't find too much interesting in Carla, and she's old enough to be his mother. So something's rather odd about that they're just tarnishing his name, using something that would come from the Lenin School of Political Warfare to tarnish you with an idea or a thought that's very negative, so that no one would have positive thoughts about you in any way, shape, or form. So major hatchet job going on this guy, no pun intended. The other thing is, it's not like we haven't had high-level serial killers, you know, in government pretty much. Colonel Williams, the notorious serial killer and rapist in the Canadian Air Force, was the Prime Minister's personal pilot. He did fly the royal family around when they came to visit Canada at one time. You know, he's locked up with Paul Bernardo, Carla Homolka's partner in crime, from their murder spree, which was very similar, filming gruesome murders and such. So there seems to be a large appetite for this among the political elites. One of the other bizarre factors is, of course, there were allegations by Professor Robert O'Driscoll that the leader of the Liberal Party, Bob Rae, is the biological father of Paul Bernardo, and that's why he got a sweetheart deal in the court system here in Ontario when Bob Rae was Premier of Ontario. Of course, that's all swept under the rug, and good old Professor O'Driscoll is deceased now, hopefully not from murder, but that happens from time to time when you tell too much truth. And then it would also sort of make sense on why this chap, if in fact Luka was sending the body parts, actually sent one to the Liberal Party headquarters as well. That's kind of been rose-petaled out of the news media. They stress the conservative end of it, but they leave the Liberals out to a great extent. Little bipartisan politics there, and maybe that's why. So did they have something go sour? Does this kid know something if he did in fact send these body parts, or is he being totally framed? If he did know, I'm suspecting maybe he's trying to bring some good dirt onto these political parties, because maybe once this chap is identified, the connection between major political movements and the victim may be established, and the killer or sender has absolutely nothing to lose by doing this. He's kind of rubbing their nose in it, and we can almost, you know, just imagine if there's any humor involved, that you know, the Prime Minister's calling his former police commissioner and present-day Deputy Minister of Defense and going, Julie, I thought you paid the killer. Didn't you pay the killer, Julie? Like, you know, he's returning all the stuff. It's return to sender. You got to pay the guy.